What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another week. We is live. Welcome to America's favorite show. This is America's Mind. I'm Jamal Williams.
I am Christopher Barris.
Christopher Barris is at home right now. He's a busy man. He was working hard today, so we gave him a break today. He get to stay at home.
Yeah, I got the luxury to be at home. Thank you so very much for allowing this. You know, I was ready to get in the car. I didn't want to.
Yeah, I know. Because I seen I had a call. I was like, oh, this must be serious. I never get calls.
You know what? It's one of those things where you're like, when you call, you're like, okay, so do you really, you call for like a medium. Like you call for like, oh, you're still at home? I was hoping you'd be like, yeah, you're still at home? All right, dude, we'll just do it at home. All right, don't worry. Like, all right, cool. Like, that's what I wanted.
All right, people, we're back for another week. We got some good topics this week, too. We're going to talk about, of course, Roe versus Wade. Ooh. Hot girl summer is canceled.
Before we dive into that, not to cut you off, you're going to be very surprised at what I'm going to say about this when we get to that. It's not going to be a typical Barris saying.
We're also going to talk about a picture that Drake posted. I give you a little. Hold on, let me see if I can.
So, part of hypergamy.
No, I don't want to play that. We're going to talk about that video.
No.
We're gonna talk about this picture that Drake posted, and my wife, when she sent this, she was like, "Would you want that many wives?" I guess she was asking me or Chris. So we'll talk about that.
Okay. I can't wait to dive into that. I want to really quick, mildly off topic. I wanted to shout out a really good friend of mine.
Go ahead.
Joshua Seguro. So if people been following us since the earlier episodes, I specified this particular hat in general that he was fighting because he was diagnosed with colon cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a big time Raider fan. My nickname for him is actually Raider Nation. That's what I call him. That's his name in my phone and all that good stuff. And you know what? I've been wearing the hat way more than normal. This actually is like part of my attire most of the time. Because see, I'll show you guys. Because see, I flip it right here. So if you guys go to the previous episodes, you will see this snapback hat. So, you know, I'm actually rocking this Raider hat quite often. And it keeps me to be grounded with supporting Josh and his family and things like that. So I have wonderful, fantastic news. So like I said before, that Josh is one of the strongest men that I know, and Josh remains to be the strongest man that I know because he has completely conquered and defeated cancer after 8 chemotherapy sessions. And Jeez. Shout out to Josh, because he said he was going to ring the bell, and he rung it. He was a man of his word, and I told him, hey, man, I'm a man of my word, because, look, me and the nation is behind you. So I just wanted to share that.
Shout out to Josh and congratulations. I don't know Josh, but I know I wouldn't want to deal with anything like that. So, you know, I couldn't imagine what it's like going through not one, but 8 chemo sessions.
Yes. And Josh is an excellent man. He's a father. He's a husband. He's a father of 4 beautiful girls. So he's a girl dad too.
Yeah, we don't need to lose the good ones.
So Josh is a wonderful, wonderful guy. You know, before no BS. I'm not even trying to like blow smoke. Like this guy is a real legit like guy. So, you know, I'm just honored to just know him, and I've been trying to promote the moments. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait until disaster or disasterment or certain things happen. Promote the moments right now. If a person is great, Tell them that they're great. You love them, tell them you love them. You care about them, tell them, show them, express it, etc. So I'm not going to ramble too much because I could dominate just the show with this alone. So I just want everybody to just, and I wanted to show my loyalty to him as well. And the hat's still on, bro. Still rocking it, still praying, still. And hey, we all are just in this journey called life. And look, every day by day, right? That's all we can do.
Shout out to Josh. All right, so if you don't know, we're America's Mind. If it's your first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. 66.7% of you are not subscribed, so support the channel. It's free. It gives us a boost. We're trying to get to 100. I think we might hit 60 in the next day or two. Let me see.
We shout out to the 10 people that have no shot to the 50. But shout out to the 10. Like we monitor, this, and we want to express our the importance of this, because as this show has been progressing, it's been a treat. If it's wrong, we try to make it right. And look, we get on here. It ain't pretty. It ain't full of the special effects, but that's what makes this show, my personal opinion, a really fantastic show. Because hey, we don't have all that glimmer and glamour. You know what I mean? We just, hey, we get out here and we just do what we got to do. Jamal works most of the controls, so all of that tech stuff. So that's him. Me, I'm not technical. So
speaking of the subscribers, though, we got a little criticism in the comment section this week.
Oh yeah. Let's go to dessert. Thank you for reminding me. Mildly slipped my mind.
All right, so I took the guy's mind now. So this was on about a video that we posted about Brittany Renner, who's currently detained in Russia. So I guess one of Chris's well, you explain that about how you felt about what the WNBA needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
You felt like they need to go ahead.
No, I'm so sorry, but basically just I wanted it to be an even spectrum, and that's what I was kind of going for. Because the WNBA, if you break down the salaries of some of these women, it's not even close. And for Brittany, that's in the situation that she's in now, she plays for a team in Russia. So, and she makes a few $1 million a season out there. Most women that play professional basketball go this route. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's such a risk, because look at what's going on now. Unfortunately, Brittany has been in Russia and can't get home, and it's been close to 120 or 120 some odd days that she's there. So I feel like that the WNBA needs to increase their wages and increase certain things, so these professional athletes not only be on a pedestal for their achievements and doing what they do on a nightly basis, but to get their salary respect, in my personal opinion. So let's just read what this gentleman has said right here.
Yeah, so I took the name out. I don't know. I didn't ask if he wanted to be showcased or not. So he says, what are you guys talking about? They play 36 games a season. They've been playing for 25 seasons without making a quarter. They only exist because of the men's NBA that subsidizes them. I know boys' high school teams that can be the WNBA team. We only keep the league because of the feminists. And he put an exclamation mark behind that. So he's serious.
Okay.
So how do you feel about that?
So, okay, I'm going to say this, that he's absolutely he's wrong on this. Okay. I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days when you showed me this, how I was going to rebuttal this. So I will use Candace Parker and I will use James Harden. Okay. So James Harden gets a certain amount of money per game, if you want to break it down. And Candace Parker gets a certain amount of money per game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Candace Parker and James Harden can play, if they play one-on-one, we would mildly expect James Harden to win, right?
Yeah.
Just because of the simple fact, not to be sexist, but this is where people are being sexist. Oh, well, he's a man. He should be able to win. Easy. But
I
here's
mean,
the
it's not
thing.
sexist. He's stronger. He's probably faster. He could back her down. She
All of
might be
the above,
taller though, right? Is she taller than James
but
Harden?
here's the
Go
flip.
ahead.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the flip. Everything that James can do, Candace can do.
True.
Candace can dunk. Candace can shoot. Candace can dribble. She can score. So Candace can beat him. If they were to play 10 one-on-one games, James Harden might overall maybe beat her, but James is going to take defeat. It's not going to be a runaway. So what I'm saying that if she has the ability, and there's some of these women in that league that have the ability to beat men on the same playing field of basketball, then I feel like that the money, it shouldn't be. I'm not saying that it should be making more than the men, but it shouldn't be a margin like this. It should be more of a margin like this. Now, he has a point. They only play 36 games. Okay, bump it up.
I didn't know that.
Make it relevant. Bump it up. Give them 30 more games so they play 66, 67. Make it a larger market for them and give them the opportunity to make more money. And that's what I'm saying. To say or try to imply of us being a feminist, that's a little bit of a bold statement to kind of say that, because there are, you know what, people that think like that don't know personally women that play basketball. My sisters play basketball. My best friend plays basketball. My girl plays basketball. I know lots of women that play basketball and they're good. Like, they'll give me and you a run for our money right now.
But this is where I kind of agree with like a couple of his points. So I think he was saying the NBA subsidizes them, like they kind of cover their pay, because I guess the WNBA, they don't make as much as the guys because they don't bring in as much money. So it's kind of, if you were to pay them more, the money would have to come from somewhere else other than the WNBA. But I do agree with you that something has to be done, because just like right now you were talking about Candace Parker versus James Harden, and I'm thinking I would like to see that. So maybe the WNBA and NBA should probably mingle a little more. I think there is a way to make the WNBA bigger that, things can be done. Like maybe during All-Star Week, have the women included in some of the things too. Like it's like they can participate in the 3-point contest, right? Like that wouldn't be difficult. Yeah. So
give them sponsorship. Most of these players that are the NBA now, I'm talking about the guys, they get sponsorships. They get Sprite. They get Kia. They get all of these other things to add to this. So give them a bigger market to play with. 36 games is not enough. I don't even think that's NBA playoffs.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, give them more of a bigger market to make some money. I'm not saying just give it to them. I'm saying create an opportunity for them to make more money. The NBA, the reason why a lot of these guys in the NBA are getting a humongous amount of money right now is because of they tapped into the TV deals. So the TV sponsorships are adding to this money because of the ratings and things like that. Like, for instance, the Lakers, that at one point Spectrum was the only network that played the Lakers and the Dodgers. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, if you didn't pay into that, you couldn't see any Laker games or Dodger games. So when people start paying into this, then Spectrum and other TV networks started cutting money in distributing the money as well. So everybody got paid. So it needs to be the same thing here.
Yeah. So I kind of half agree with him, half agree with you.
Yeah.
The WNBA doesn't bring in enough money to pay the women, I guess, wages competitive to the NBA. But I don't think the NBA organization utilizes the WNBA to its fullest potential either. Like people just don't watch it. Like it's not on top of the game. I don't think the game is that as exciting as the men's game. But still,
No, I get it.
Yeah, it's more fundamental based.
Yeah,
slower maybe, but
okay.
There are things like he said. There are things that you could do. You just like I said. You just threw out a scenario that would be interesting to a lot of people. I think a lot of people. I think there needs to be more mingling, and it'll grow. It might grow.
Bump up the games. Okay, if overseas is more popular in a sense, then create a stream or something overseas that you get those numbers.
Yeah, the NBA does it with China.
Exactly. Look what the Ball brother did, and look what he went overseas, and those ratings were so high because they wanted to see, was this kid going to was he going to make it or not out there? You know what I mean? And he had such a buzz and created so much revenue. Like people are home here staying up at 2 a.m. to watch this kid play. You know what I'm saying? And he generated so much money that the NBA had no choice but to draft this kid.
Yeah.
Because they're like, this kid is good. He's marketable. We're able to make some money. He's playing with adults. He fits in our league because the NBA is the biggest global market when it comes to basketball. So it was a no-brainer for them. They would have lost money if they wouldn't have drafted him.
I always want to do this for no reason. I just want to move the jacket over. I'm gonna start just bringing up topics specifically that give women a jacket.
So, I appreciate the comments. See, this is the unique thing about this particular show that we're trying to create here, is that we want the rebuttal. I don't want a bunch of yes people in agreement on what I'm saying, Jamal or anybody else. If they keep it respectful and stuff like that, I have no problem. We can go back and forth. I'm not calling this person an idiot because I'm being respectful.
Me especially. I love going back and forth with debates about people. Chris doesn't like it as much. I live in that space. So,
well, no, if he writes something like this, it's like, I'll dissect this line for line, and we'll go from there. And then high school teams that could be WNBA teams, that's a stretch. That's a stretch.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe
if the high school team has like a superstar on there, like a future LeBron or something.
A high school team will have one player. Yeah, one player's getting off, but everybody else is 5'5", 5'6".
High school teams don't play fundamental ball like that. Like I think they get beat just off plays.
Now, if he was to say like a college team, I would say, baby, UCLA. Yeah, I'm sure UCLA and some other teams, Kansas and
college
and Arizona,
teams play real ball. I mean? Like if you've ever seen a high school game, they literally be like shooting half court shots. They don't run anything. They like the coach be frustrated, I'm sure.
But
like,
all
maybe
I'm
a
just
really
saying,
good high school team. Like I'm trying to think of one.
Yeah, all I'm just saying is just don't get it twisted and don't sleep. Like these chicks, there's some chicks in that league. There's some chicks on it, and I don't mean to disrespect by calling them chicks. There's some women on these teams, and there's some women in this league that will give men a run for their money.
Yeah, Brittany Griner being one. I mean?
She's 6'9". You got to put 6'10" and above on her. So even if you put a 6'4", 6'3", like
I say 6'7", 6'7". But
like
if you
6'7",
put like a
but
6'1"
it ain't,
NBA
but
player
it
on
ain't
there,
gonna be,
she
it
probably
ain't
backed
gonna
them
be a
down too.
runaway. It ain't gonna be like she's gonna score
Yeah, if you put a
because you know
6'1"
what I mean. Like,
NBA player on there, she'll back them down too. Like
yeah, you
all
gonna
she got to
like,
do
man,
is
let's keep it,
this.
like, look, I'm gonna keep it 100 too. Like, you know, shout out to Lisa Leslie. Lisa Leslie would give these some of them NBA players some buckets. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, don't have me start calling them out. I'm not saying that they gonna be dominating and whooping them like that, but what I am saying is that them girls ain't gonna be taking no L,
It's some
not all the way
standouts.
around. Yeah, it ain't gonna be 100-0. No,
I think
no.
Sue Bird could have mixed a few players. Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
man,
some
look,
standouts in there.
most of them guards will be a handful. The no hand checking rule and stuff like that, a lot of them chicks got handled. You know what I'm saying? Most of them can shoot. They win off of that. If you leave them open, they're gonna shoot.
And they women, so you know the refs go call fouls for them. I got to get my misogynist on.
They might be a little biased, you know, but what I'm saying, you know, like he's entitled to his opinion, and he's making some good points. But the feminist statement is a stretch.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I've never even heard of that terminology until like 2 weeks ago. I ain't even gonna front.
I have, since they've been talking about WNBA pay, like the pay gap. I think that's, I don't know. I think it's a feminist talking point, but they don't really have deep conversations about it. So I don't.
Well, when you think about it too, why you think Kobe was so involved? Like, he knew where his daughter was probably gonna end up, so Kobe was trying to promote the market. You know what I mean? Like, this is a good market. Let's get it up. Let's get NBA players involved. Let's start creating teams. Let's start putting some money in here. Let's start mixing it up now. It's not gonna happen overnight, but if we start implementing some of these things 5-10 years future wise, maybe we could get some more money involved in this particular sport. So you know, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, but appreciate the comment.
All right. So once again, if you're just tuning in or you're watching this late or live, wherever you're watching it, go ahead, hit that like button, help us out, hit the subscribe button. We are trying to get to 100. 66% of you are not subscribed. It's a free gift to us, and we very much appreciate all of our subscribers. We're gonna buy cake one day and give it out. Anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little sign. You know what I mean? Time. People that know me personally, they gonna hold me up on this. But so here goes this treat right here. So what is this that I'm looking at?
Look, you already see this down here, liked by Randy K. What's she doing liking that? Randy's not here this week. She'll be back next week though. And she got all her equipment upgraded, so she'll sound better.
Hey.
All right, so Randy had sent this to us in our little group DM, and she asked us if we could have this many wives, would we want that? So I'm gonna let Chris talk about that first. Chris.
Oh, this is easy. This is simple. So here is the terminology here. And I'm not calling them O's.
What you calling them?
But we all know, every man knows that 1, 2, 5, 10, one great woman flushes out all of that. It's a fact. A man will trade in 5 to 10 to 20 O's for that one particular rose. So I disagree with this, because you can be surrounded. Okay, I've been a player before, so I'm gonna put a little bit of.
You disagree because you don't necessarily know the quality of the women.
That's true. But I'm going to just...
That was a question.
Oh, what's the question? I'm sorry.
Like, are you saying that's why you disagree because you don't know the quality of the
Yes, I
women?
don't know the
You're saying
quality
like
of the women.
quality over quantity, basically.
Exactly. It's like, so, because see, here's the thing is that, okay, are you able to be active every day? Yes, because you have a host to choose from. But that's not everything at the end of the day.
I think I
You know
like
what I
this
mean?
topic. I think we need to. I think next week we go have a polygamy show. Like all the
That and
with
see, like for some men, this might work. I'm not gonna sit up here and knock this all away neither. I'm gonna just keep it 100 for myself where I'm at in my age right
well,
now.
I think this is overkill. I've never seen like this type of polygamous
Oh yeah, of course,
relationship.
it's for
This,
Hollywood.
yeah, this is
It's
too many.
a beautiful picture. It's super creative.
But I
I
definitely
love
do
the
know a couple
creativity of it.
people or follow a couple people who have, 2 wives or 3 wives.
If if it was me, if I was in a different country,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to front. If I was in a different country,
Consider it.
I would consider two. Yeah,
Okay, so you
I could.
would max out at 2?
I would backside at two.
Before I got married, I already had this conversation, and and my wife was basically like, no. But this is what I'm gonna say, like personally, on my own, like I guess personal belief system. I think if you have the money to do it, I don't even think Drake got this much money. He ain't got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 girls money, 20 wives money. Not girls, 20 wives money. I don't think he got that much. That's a lot of money. but but I think if you have the money to do it, then I don't see anything wrong with it, honestly.
I'm
It's,
like, yeah.
if
I'm like, I just think
if you could take care of one and you got surplus money left over, and you could double up that and have 2. I don't have anything to say about it. But personally, I don't think I would want to. Marriage is hard enough with the one, some days I'll be like, oh my god, like it's. I think it's rough enough for me anyway. Some dudes can handle it. All power to them. But I think for me personally, I don't have an issue with it. I support it. But for me, no. I think I'll stick with one. I don't want to be responsible for that many.
like this will get old. You know what I mean? Like it's cool. It's a good like get out your system. You know what I mean? I will say that much, but basically, I banged my toe. Sorry, but basically, like you're gonna get tired. Just like we both could agree right now.
Mm.
What's the number one thing that men don't like to do? And that's spend money. So it's like your bank account is around the clock, losing dividends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there's always something going on. And now we tired of that. I don't care if we got the money. I don't care if I got a money tree outside. I just don't want my money to be continuously spent because anything can happen. And then what? You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the difference kind of like between men and women when we look at certain things overall. But like I said, the creativity of the picture, I like it.
I like that too.
The thought process. Yeah, the thought.
I understand what he's trying to say. And I do think he lives like this without the wife part. And that's cool. Like if you a Drake dude, then I don't know, you're gonna have a bunch of women. And it's like that's just basically it. We were saying a similar thing about Vince McMahon last week about how Vince McMahon got caught with his side chick, and people were surprised about it. And it's like he's a billionaire, like why wouldn't you think he had women?
I gotta take a little moment. I gotta move my car. I'm so sorry about that, but
it's no
hold
biggie.
it down.
So you guys get me to entertain you. So this is what I'll do. Oh shoot, I gotta add Chris's. I gotta do some business anyway. I gotta add Chris's audio to my cam because as you can see, Chris is not here today, so his setup is a little different than it usually is, and that should do that. All right. So no, I don't want this. I don't want that. Bam. All right. So what I'll do, our next topic is I guess we're gonna give our opinions on Roe versus Wade. I already did a short form video about this. I think Saturday it dropped on our channel, so my opinions are in there. Basically, I'll cover what happened. So for the last couple months, I guess a couple months ago, an opinion leaked by the Supreme Court, which is a big deal because opinions never leak. Or I think it's the first time that ever happened. And it revealed that the Supreme Court was going to vote in the majority to overturn Roe versus Wade. So if you don't know what Roe versus Wade was, that was a 1973 issue that came to the Supreme Court, and it basically used the 14th Amendment to imply that women had a right to privacy, and they used that term to include the A word, kid cancellation. And so over the last 50 years or so, the A word, kid cancellation, has been nationally protected by the Constitution. It's always been an issue. It's always been challenged by some scholars or by some people in political commentary, but it has been standing since 1973 until Friday. So Friday, that opinion became, I guess, law, or it actually happened. It came into effect, and the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. So now the A word goes back to the states. States choose whether or not they're going to allow kid cancellation. Here, I have an image that I'm going to bring up. Let me see where this is. I have an image that shows exactly what states allow or are likely to allow or won't allow this to go on. Yeah, we're talking about Roe v. Wade. Why did you have something to wrap up about the Drake picture? Okay. Look at that. What now?
I'm looking at the scale on the iPad, which you had on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Instead of me pulling my face so close. Okay, so I'm still against this.
Okay.
But I think what I like though is that this gives these states individually the opportunity now. This gives the people the power, if you think about it, because each state is ran differently, with the governors, blah, 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 all that other little stuff. And so now votes can be brought in, certain things could be implemented, certain things could be, enforced. So I think overall, I think that this is a good thing because now this allows the people to actually really dictate what it is that they really want to do versus you have a higher entity that basically states that it's like this, that, and the third. So
yeah, I think you're definitely right about that. Because that's such a big topic. It's definitely going to affect like governor races. Especially when elections come up, who runs and what their policy intentions are, or what their ideal system is. So yeah, like you could in California. I feel like California is probably the most liberal city, the most led city, not city, state. I'm saying city because I'm thinking L.A., but state in the nation. So it's gonna be pretty difficult. It always has anyway, but it's gonna be pretty difficult.
The X factor is Texas. So it's like because when you think about, not to cut you off, when you think about the United States, there's only a few states that you really think about. California being one, most relevant, of course, New York, and then we have Texas, and then you have other states in between.
I agree with that. You know,
like
kind of like the trifecta big states.
Yeah,
maybe Florida.
Yeah. Because whatever Texas is going to do, it controls everything around it, as you can see.
Yeah, this shows what Texas is going to do. Texas has already written the law. They're going to ban it, and it's going to take effect within the,
so that's in the South.
30 days. Yeah, so all the red states have already written laws that ban. So as soon as this goes into effect, bam, it's banned.
Is that Utah? Wow.
Yeah, Utah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is actually I thank you for this scale. And for those that don't know, because I didn't really know how it was going, I just knew the outcome, things like that. But this is a fabulous tool here to actually now we can look at and see what states will be impacted by this and what states are kind of like on their own. But again, I was 200% against it because I'm looking at it literally. I still am, but now this gives people more of the power because federal is all over. So now when this breaks down to the individual states, now states can actually look at the numbers and then make the determination if this is something that they want to follow or if this is something they want to enforce, so and it's still kind of split down the line. But like I said, with New York and California, Nevada is a very strong, and Oregon very strong along with Washington, those are very relevant states. So
yeah,
it really kind of puts it kind of like this, it's not a runaway. Texas is a very, 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 very relevant state in the South, but when you think past Texas, I'm like, yeah, you got Georgia, you have Atlanta, you have Oklahoma and Tennessee and Kansas and stuff like that. But
yeah, I'm looking at Arkansas. That looks like it's going to be like maybe Arkansas and East Texas. If you want to get that procedure done there, it looks like you're going to have to take a trip. Like
I'm like,
like maybe Illinois will be closest.
I'm looking at this Illinois. That's a little gotta do some research on Illinois. See what's going on with them because they're kind of just like nah, boom, they surround you. You know what I mean? Like I just do. I'm looking. I'm like, man, hold on. Like you got influence around you, and Illinois is like nah.
Yeah, when you put the colors on it, they do look surrounded. Everybody looking at it, like, what y'all doing over there?
You don't think about Illinois.
Y'all don't fit the area.
I ain't even gonna sit up in front. I ain't gonna even act like I know all these states like that because I don't.
Well, Illinois, that's Chicago. I think Chicago leads what Illinois does. In my, I could be wrong, but that's what my idea is. And Chicago
that's a huge
big.
Well, you know what?
City.
Well, New York and them kind of, flirt. Because even when I'm looking at the East Coast, Vancouver's still, New York, Jersey, so
you mean Vermont? Yeah.
So
Virginia.
those particular states,
you said Vancouver,
yeah, those
that's
particular states alone, yeah, those states alone, they run the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? No shot to the other states there, but New York, New Jersey, it's like
New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Yep.
Yeah, they run that. You know what I'm saying? So for them to be aboard, because like I said, there's certain states that are relevant. All states are important, but there's just some that stand out a little bit more than others. So it looks like Texas on the South is just being the one that, like I said, they've definitely
So what's your final stance on that? You're saying you think it's a good thing that it's going back to the
I
states? Or?
I think it's a good thing because basically what this does is that this allows the people to now dictate. Like these are one of these things now from today to 2-3 years down the line. Like this will be put in a vote. This is gonna go through the chute, and a vote's gonna be generated. And so this gives the people now the power to, actually, hey, they want to push this or do they want to push it another way? So I think in that case is good. Overall, I'm still on, human body in
we already had that cover, a whole episode about it.
Yeah, and so and that's my thing. I'm like,
we already gave our personal opinions on this topic. If you want to go, I'll link that video up in the corner somewhere or wherever it shows up. You guys could go watch that. We sat and talked for maybe an hour about it, so we won't rehash the issue. But I always, not always, 99% of the time, I agree with taking things out of the federal level and bringing them to the states. Like, it doesn't matter what issue. If we're talking about minimum wage becoming federal, I'm like, no, keep it at a state level. If you're talking about firearms or gun rights, I'm like, nope, keep them at state levels. Every issue almost, I'm like, keep it at a state level. Let states figure it out.
I agree.
And so that's why I really didn't have an issue with this. Like, I live in California. Obviously, if I was so against this, I would have moved to Texas. Personally, I'm super against it. Politically, I think there should be some wiggle room because I would say that everything that I think doesn't have to, everybody doesn't have to follow it, right? So,
and that's how I feel too. I feel like if it's like not to go back into it, but like if it's a act of violence or something like that, yes, But if you just out here reckless and you kind of got a rep. If you one of them girls,
I know who you talking about.
If you one of them people where because you got medical records, you know what I mean? The medical records tell. You know what I mean? Like that, and you got something as long as a receipt. Nah, baby girl, nah, you ain't.
Oh, I didn't know that. You ain't see that? Like as a nurse, when you looking at somebody's records, it'll be on there.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. So a woman. Okay. So
I don't like that.
So a woman. So a woman's records. When you look at this. A woman's record, it shows how many times a woman's been pregnant. It shows how many terms. It shows how many children. It shows how many children have she terminated. Wow. And it also shows if
this stuff
she was pregnant.
Like out loud?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it shows
like, should I hit the delete button? Like, can you say this?
No, yeah, you can state it. Yeah, because I'm not using names.
All right. So you probably seen some numbers, right? You probably seen some bodies on these papers. Ooh. Yeah,
because and it's like a certain number. It'll be like 2002. So 2 would be 2 full-term pregnancies.
Is it?
Well, that's how we will come up. Well, wait. It's funny you say that because that's how it'll come up. Oh yeah, 2002. That'll be a terminology. So So 2 full-term pregnancies and 2 children living. So that's why you would get
the 0 is the one of
0 abortions, 0 deaths.
Got it.
Of the child, exactly, and then 2 living children. Because sometimes women can be pregnant, and then the child can not make it.
I didn't know that, but I really never thought about that. But yeah, why wouldn't that be on your medical record? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Look at. If you're not subscribed to America's Mind, hit that subscribe button. Chris is giving us knowledge.
So
if you didn't know, your number is on your medical sheet. When your nurse looking at you, it's probably because she see. It's probably because she see like 6060 or something.
like, yeah, I never done this before. I'm a virgin. I'm like, this, like, So, again, ma'am, what was that? Okay. 6, 3, 4, and 5. You've been very, okay, no problem. Whatever you say. But I'm saying that in a joke. But I am being direct, very serious that, yes, it does. Yes.
That's interesting.
A medical record is extremely, it's very confidential, but it follows you. They know every single time you go to the hospital, every single time you go to the clinic, every single time you've done anything. That's why it's very, it's a federal offense if you leak information. So that's why, as a nurse, physicians, anybody that's in the hospital, you have to be very, very cautious on how you're talking, where you're talking, and especially a patient. Like I was in a security, like I give you guys this true story, and this was like a very difficult time, a moment when I was a security guard at a hospital, and a loved one passed away, and by law, we can't say anything because under the medical umbrella, who declares death? A physician. The doctor signs the death certificate, the doctor declares death, and the doctor informs the family. That's by law. So there was this one particular time where this family,
I'm gonna use that point I left for you 3 days before the wedding.
Okay. There was this particular family member that had passed, and they were there for hours. And what I mean, I had laser eyes looking for any crack to say, he knows something. And if they get it out of you, or if you crack, you're in big trouble.
Wait,
and
this was your family member?
No, this was somebody else's.
You worked somewhere, and
I was working at the hospital.
There were people waiting there to see what happened about their family member.
Yes,
and
it was a person that got shot.
So they have to wait for a doctor to come out and tell them.
Yeah,
the nurses can't say anything.
Nothing.
Wow, I didn't know that either.
So when the doctor only could declare death, and this was a homicide, so it was like, either a police officer or a doctor. So for whatever reason, I don't know why they were prolonging it. And I'm looking at people, they're looking at me like this, and they're crying and they're sniffling, and they're like, and I literally went like this. I just went, and I denied eye contact, and they were like, he knows something. He knows something.
They're trying to pick your
he knows.
movement up.
No, him. Yes, him. And then before you know something. And I was like, oh my God, I got to get out of here because I'm gonna crack. I'm gonna be like, oh my God, yeah, he's dead. Like, golly, like he came in dead. Like he's been dead for 3 hours.
That situation.
But it's so dangerous and it's so serious. So to be put in those so medical records and things like that, and the federal, because let's just say if I would have cracked, even if I would have gave the gesture just enough, if they would have been like, hey, so is my friend in, if I would just went like, I'm giving or I'm leading them to suspect. And so when they told the doctor, see, I knew he was there because the security guard said it.
And you can't. What happens to you if you do leak it? Or you give
federal offense.
Federal?
Go to prison. Federal offense. It's called HIPAA violation. So it's very, very, very serious in the medical field, especially in a hospital setting. Those things are shared on what we can and can't do. And when we're security, we were hands on, so it's like we used to see it. We used to see the tickets,
Yeah.
and then kind of like I was a little bit more closer to the doctors and nurses, so I was kind of like invited in on the other side of the curtain. So it was a lot of stuff that I got to see. That's what kind of enticed me to go towards the medical field later on, but seeing that and then like kind of having like a lot of information, and then you got to retain it, and it's very difficult because sometimes that compassionate side of you wants to just to try to just give them their dessert, because you see them boohoo crying. And it's like, oh my gosh, like it doesn't help them, but then you just want to give them some type of satisfaction to them knowing. Because sometimes
people
when you don't know something, you want to know.
Makes
Exactly.
It worse, yeah. Oh man,
Exactly.
That's crazy. Look, if you here with us, give us a like and a subscribe. Chris is giving us that information that we didn't know. I didn't know it was those 2002s on the medical records.
Yeah.
That is new information.
I encourage you ladies to just be very careful. Okay, be very careful. Men, be very careful.
That's what I would suggest. Don't be hopping around with doctors because they gonna look at you funny. Man.
Oh, look, if I was a doctor, look, I'm a nurse. If I could do a dig, I am. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'll do a dig myself.
All right, so
he's like, hold on, you lying.
All right, so one more time, if you haven't hit that subscribe button or that like button yet, 66.7% of you are not subscribed, and we are trying to make it to 100 subscribers. So please do us a favor, help us out, hit that subscribe button. And this is about to turn into the Chris show, because I know he's going to be very opinionated. So you watched this video, right, Chris? I thought I sent it to you.
Which video? I don't see that on the screen yet.
So part of hypergamy is that.
So she's saying that women sleep. We keep talking about just pearly things because she always has great topics, and they're juicy things that we like to talk about, and they're things that I can use to get the jacket on the women. So I always bring them up when I can.
No, absolutely. I think I could. I think I know where this is leaning. I don't know if we're gonna play anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it.
Okay. All right, I'm listening. I think I know where I'm gonna sway with this one.
All right.
How to help you ladies out.
Part of hypergamy is that women all want a very small percentage of men. So this is something that literally blew my mind.
So she's saying part of hypergamy is women want the same percentage of men. Like all women are chasing a small percent of men.
When I first started like watching this content, if you ask
80%, so basically they're all chasing, like, is it like a wealthy entertainer type of like guy? Is it like that type of person?
I'm sure there's like statistics, but like, I guess what we would think are, people don't know this, but most guys are, they don't have sex available to them. Like they can't get sex. Like there's a lot of, I guess, what do they call them? Incels. It's involuntarily celibate. So the men who can get sex are a smaller percentage, and she's saying that that's the percentage that all women are chasing. So she's saying like 100% of women are chasing 20% of men. And
I'm gonna say yes, but I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna let you finish. Let me finish the video.
And what they want in a man, they list 20% of men.
She's saying when women list what they want in the men, that like applies to about 20% of men.
I agree with that.
So the reason that girls say things like men are trash, men are the problem, is because we're all sleeping with the same one.
And then she ended it by saying, so the reason that women say things like men are trash, men are the problems, is because they're all sleeping with the same one.
Okay. So, okay. All right.
It's the Chris show.
And she has a point there. And so here's, okay. the reason why women are jockeying, or I'm going to go off of what she's saying, that they're jockeying, 100% of the women are jockeying 20%, because this is the 20% that's promoted. You know what I mean? Like, it's promoted to
jockeying?
get you
That's
like
how I know you an 80s baby. People don't say jockeying anymore. For all you young people, so, jockeying is like, what do y'all say? Oh, thirsty? Something like that?
Whatever, yeah, thirsty towards the same type of guy. And it's so easy to get. You could get it on your fingertips now. These phones can do things that phones couldn't do once upon a time. And so the envelope is being pushed to get you some type of an entertainer / business owner / boss-like guy. So yes, when the average woman, if you ask them a questionnaire of characteristics of what they want in a man, it does explain and pertain to that particular person. See, a woman doesn't see. Most women are thinking that if they marry a guy that that's a trash truck driver, that she can't be successful or have a successful life. But looking and failing to look at the bigger picture, that he's a city employee, so he gets city benefits and city perks and city pensions. See, some women don't look at the bigger picture. They only looking up things up front. Now, the lovely signature move that these men do is that they sprinkle just enough to get the woman to bite. You know what I mean? And he's going to play just enough to keep her at bay. And when he's done with her.
Oh, snap. Did we lose Chris? Oh, yeah. I think we did. I was into that, too. I wanted to see what he was going to say. So I guess he was recapping and saying that women
trying to protect his money.
You're back. You cut off for a minute.
Oh.
Like for maybe 15 seconds.
So yeah, so I was saying that they both are not committing. The woman doesn't want to commit. She just wants to do just the bare minimum. The man knows that, but he doesn't want her full time because he's protecting his accesses and stuff too. So, you know what I mean? So she's absolutely correct. What women really just have to start doing is stop trying to be like the next woman that's beside you. Have your own destiny, have your own plan, and have your own agenda. And that's the problem. The morals that women used to carry, some women used to carry, are deceased now.
You seen because women jacket over.
Because women, once upon a time, women didn't sleep with the same dude. Now you have 4 or 5 chicks that are fighting each other because this one dude don't slept with her best friend, the cousin, and then he done knocked up an associate of them. She pregnant. So everybody mad. And it's like, when and how did this happen?
I was going to ask you your opinion on that. Like, what do you think happened in the culture, in the country where, well, I have my opinion, but where like things are kind of getting out of hand in that way? And like I always see like marriage rates are going down. The percentage of people who never get married is going up. Single parenthood is going up. And the birth rates are going down amongst all races. So
yeah, because they're pushing the envelope differently. All you hear on social media now is get the bag, get the bag, get the bag. Us as people looking at like Hollywood stars or something like that,
that's what we think, you know, in our mind,
we like
the bag must be
we'd be looking like
$20 million, but
yeah, we're looking at them collectively. We're like, wait a minute, y'all got $400 million between the two of y'all. How y'all not happy? Like, we're looking because we don't have it. So we're like, oh man, I would tolerate what she's talking about. But the reality is that there's no dollar sign of your true, pure happiness and true feeling and consciousness and psyche and your mental health and all of that. You could be with somebody that's worth $1 billion, but they could be a cancer to your life and you don't want no parts of it.
I agree with most of that. I think also, let me add to it, I think people get into relationships looking to find happiness from that relationship. And I think that's a bad idea in the first place. Like, I don't think another person can make you happy, especially like if you're just miserable. Like,
because where does happiness come from?
Within.
Yes. Or the other word for people that want to be smart.
It's a lot of words that start with self that people look for from other people. Like self-esteem. Who made that joke about self-esteem? Cat Williams? It's your esteem of your motherfucking self. Or something like that.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. You have to own that. I don't.
Yeah, I feel like people are responsible for their happiness. They're responsible for how they see themselves. And if you're not happy with yourself, getting into a relationship, it's just gonna.
So look, I'm gonna give you a funny joke from a few episodes ago, right?
Yeah.
Remember when I gave myself an 8?
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh yeah.
That's why. I don't need no woman to tell me. I come in with the 8. She not gonna sprinkle some stuff on some razzle dazzle that I already got. I come in with the pizzazz. So it's like we could combine your 8 and my 8 together. I don't need you to bump me up to 8 sweets. I got it. Yeah, I'm not the best dude on earth, but I ain't the worst. And so you gotta come in with that. Like women come in a situation looking for acceptance from a man, looking to be loved by a man, looking for some type of positiveness from a man. And I get it. The reason why some of those women are in that situation seeking that because fatherless, other things like that. The father didn't express this to their daughter when she was a little girl, that she's beautiful, she's this, she's that. You have a daughter, you just sprinkled all that in Jada. Not to put her name out there. So when she hear it, she ain't tripping. Like, you ain't telling me nothing that I don't know. I know this. But see, where do they label those women? Stuck up, conceited. Oh, you think you all that? No, she's not all that. She's just not going to lower her bar. See, a lot of these women are lowering their bar. Like I said before, women are, you go on and slide the jacket over a little bit more. See, women are going to understand that I am rooting for y'all. I need y'all to really stop. Keep that pedestal high. Keep your everything high. Don't you submit. Us as men, we want the best prize. That's what we going for. We don't want mediocre or average. We want the star that shines the brightest. So when we walk up to it, that star blind us, oh, I want this one. And if he is able to get that, kudos for him. If he's not, that's not your problem, ladies. That's their number one problem. Well, let me just mold him to where I want him to be. Well, let me just give myself to him and maybe he'll be this. Well, maybe if I give him a chance, then he'll be this guy that I think he can be. Wrong. So she is correct.
Do the sound effect again.
They're jockeying the same type of man, but are you that girl that can get that type of woman? One of my favorite cars is a McLaren, Porsche 911, Bentley, AMG, Mercedes. Like, I love expensive stuff, but does Chris afford? Can I afford it? Maybe if I'm doing some extra curriculum, I might be able to manipulate myself into the situation. But does that now, when I'm manipulating myself into the situation, I'm doing too much. Stay in my lane. So, ladies, you may not get that dude that makes six figures. How many people make six figures? Let's just keep it 100.
Yeah, less than 20%.
So it's like you going after something that the average person don't do. Be content with that 65. You bring it 40, he got 60, you got $100,000 in a home. Better than most. $100,000 or plus in a home is better than most. You got clean water, great internet. You might be living where you want to live. There's food in your refrigerator. Your kids ain't tripping about stuff. You might be driving a 2000 something. May not be a Lexus, but it might be a fully loaded Camry. Same thing.
Brand new Honda.
You like, look, I'm good. Ain't nobody trying to take it away from me. Like, people got to become more humble and realistic to what's going on. Be realistic to yourself. I'm a nurse, and that's like me trying to say, oh yeah, I'm only looking at practitioners and surgeons. I'm nowhere near that type of money they make. Practitioner is in the 100,000s plus. Surgeons is in the 200,000 plus. If I work my butt off, I might be able to flirt with 100. But key word that I said, work my butt off, going back to the Bentley, creating a situation to get it right. Do I really deserve to have it when I'm doing all of this manipulation to get it? No. So people, ladies, please, slide this jacket over. Y'all stop screwing up.
They not gonna hear you.
Sorry that I ramble so much, but I just want, you know,
those were good words. Those were good. It was a good rant. That's why I let it go on. So I think that's a good way to end on.
I want women to win out here. I want women to win.
Of course. I
want y'all to win.
We both do.
You know,
I was gonna disagree with some stuff you said, but I won't this week. I like that was such a good rant that I'm gonna just let it stay like that. I'm gonna let it stay like that. That was top tier Chris, and I'm glad people got to see it. I get to hear it all the time.
we have convos about all kind of stuff.
That was top.
You know, first we talk about ants on the ground, and then we talk about the solar system and some other planets. You know,
in the same conversation, it never makes sense. Yeah.
And then I'll give you some weird quote from M. Bison on Street Fighter. Be like, yeah, you know, he told Sagat that the world is his arena. He's like, what? Where did you get that from? Yeah. Like M. Bison said that in the Street Fighter movie.
I gotta get my brother on here too. Me and my brother have the most heated convos, and they'll be about every freaking thing in the same 5 minutes. Like we'll start talking about women, and we'll end up talking about extraterrestrials. In a 5 minute, it makes no sense. We both like going back and forth. He claims he doesn't.
Y'all actually do. Yeah. Like y'all could actually do a show yourselves, and they'll be like, oh my Lord, look at these two. Like they know it's like what?
These dummies right here. Just what are they talking about?
Be like, they night and day. They different.
That's what our show would be called. If me and my brother had a show, it would be called, what are y'all talking about? That's it.
If we can plug the Xbox Live chat in here, they'd be like,
oh man, but then we'd be canceled.
Yeah, we don't want to be canceled. Not yet. You know what I mean?
That not Xbox chat is a little different. It hit a little different.
It is. It's like, look, that's the wave of the ocean. You don't know what wave coming next. It's like you better get a surfboard, and if you got a surfboard, you better put on a life jacket sometimes too, because you may be wiped off. but I'm like, yeah, I just really want, you know, the birds of the bees talking. That's the terminology that I like to use. Women and men are very, very alike, but very different. But that's what makes it so interesting. Excuse me, and that's what makes it so relevant.
I think
because we're talking about humanity. But
I think we're more alike than we are different. But the things that we're different about are big.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
we both like food. We both breathe. We both have 2 arms, 2 legs. There's 2 eyes. There's a whole lot of like. But then like penis and vagina difference. Big difference, right?
Big difference.
Big difference.
Huge difference.
Huge difference. Different functions. They do different things. They don't look alike. So no. We're mostly alike, but the 5% of us of our differences are grand.
Yes. And here's some food for thought. This is something that I thought about, what makes women and men so different when it comes to dating, courting, whatever word you want to use, but I'm going to say dating because that's what most people do before they get to courting, in my opinion. But women have to realize that a man doesn't have to like a woman to be intimate with her. Mm-hmm. That's the cutoff that we can do naturally. We will just focus on the task at hand, the physicality and the feeling, but the emotional part is cut off. And women's special ability, and this is what men have to realize, because men fall into this category, that a woman has the ability to spend your money and take everything from you and don't even like you.
Yeah.
So that's their special ability. And
somebody out there just clutched their pearls.
And both of us fall victim of that right there. Women fall victim because they're trying to present themselves to this guy and they're doing whatever they're trying to do to get his attention. And we see you, and then we'll just go, well, I'll at least sleep with her. All right, whatever. That's what goes on in our mind, and we do it. We wasn't looking for a child. We definitely wasn't looking for no relationship. We wasn't looking for nothing else but just that moment. We took care of that moment, because that moment presented itself to us.
Do you think women will fight you on that? Because I hear that talked about a lot, that men can have sex without emotion, and then I'll hear women say like we can't.
You remember I was talking about the scientific fact yesterday. So it's a scientific fact.
No, but I'll hear women say they can too.
They cannot.
I'm just saying you would get some pushback.
They cannot. They think they can. See, here's the thing. A man could. Here's the Bachelor. We could just talk about the Bachelor and the Bachelorette. What does she do at the end of the damn show? Cry. Because she can't what? Make a decision. Because both of these dudes is stroking her great, and now she's torn between the two.
I hate those shows so much. They're so unrealistic, bro.
We can be touching all 10 women and be like, we like Veronica. Veronica ain't even on the road. Wait, what? What you mean you like her? You bypass all of us? Yeah, I just wanted to get that out the way. This is who I've been eyeballing. She's been the one that ain't been giving me nothing.
You know what show I think we should start reviewing? Or reacting to? There's a show called Temptation Island. You ever heard of that?
Oh yeah, I seen the little snippets of that.
Yeah, so they send couples to an island. Well, like they send the girls to one island. These are people that are together. They split them up, send the guys to one island, send the girls to one island, and so they put a bunch of hot dudes, on the girl island, and a bunch of hot women on the men's island, and they see if the couples are gonna, be tempted by the women. And the thing is, they have to take them on dates. Like, you can't just hide in your room. You have to go on a certain amount of dates. You gotta connect with these people. That's basically the premise. I think we should start watching that on here.
I
Because
think that, and I think that the scale is even. I think women screw that up just as much as men will. I think it's an unfair justice because a man is expected to screw up. He's expected. He may not screw up as much because when a woman screws up, in my opinion, when she steps out, she will fall in love with the other dude. See, that's what I'm saying. She'll fall in love with him.
I think by the time she sleeps with him, she already has some kind of feelings.
Yeah. And now she's just combobulated.
In general, for women, I know it's some different kind of women out there, but I'm talking about women in general.
No, there's some savages out there. I'm not gonna sit up there and front. There's some savages out there, but those are rarities right there.
Yeah,
we talking about a 1 or 2% of women global that are like that. The fundamental or traditional women.
Yeah, I would think by the time your girl is in somebody else's bed, they've been thinking about it for months. It's already been in their head.
See, that's why, and I'm not just justifying it. That's why, like when a woman cheats on her man and he finds out, he's more torn apart because he knows here.
Yeah.
He got her here. And everything else fall in line. He's like, man, he cracked your psyche.
Yeah.
And you became submissive mentally. And then your body and everything else fell in line. So yeah, we feel more kind of like damaged
more of a loss. It's a real damage to our ego.
Well, yeah, it took time. Like this dude could have been chipping at your girl for 10 years.
True facts.
See, these women don't keep it 100. Dude could have been trying to chip at her for 10 years. He done seen her go after relationship after relationship, and he been working.
That's why I hate when women compare them cheating to men cheating. Like we could sleep with somebody, and it's not me saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying what the difference is. A man could sleep with a woman he met 5 minutes ago, not know her name, go home and not remember. Like tomorrow, it's like whatever. It's just a chick.
Yeah.
When I feel like when a woman cheats, like you said, she gave her. She's already given her mind before she gave her body. It's a difference. It's not the same.
Yeah, like a woman's gonna
of it isn't the same. Like when we look, not pictures. Like look at a video of sex. Like look at the action that's going on. Think about how harder it is for a man to envision what's happening to a woman during sex, and than it is for a woman to envision what a man is doing during sex. Most of the time, you see a woman with her head smashed into a pillow, with a squinch in her face, her butt stuck up in the air. These acts don't look the same to either of us, right? I'm just saying. And then, like y'all gotta stop using that same comparison. It's like they're not equal.
And then too, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna say this: men are more stupid with cheating. If your mama looks good, we'll try to it'll cross our mind. That's how silly we are. I'm gonna give you 100.
Oh man.
I'm gonna give you 100. It's like you know what I mean. We pull up. We know what the daughter is.
Be out here with these fine mamas.
You know, and then you pull up and you pick her up and you be like, ooh, what? Just like on what's that? On Drinking Juice of the Hood. Like, man, her mama stepped in and man, shoot, now you get her number. Shoot, that was the freak. Like she dealing with the daughter for. You should have went to the mama. Like, but that's what we'll do. We'll sleep with a girl's mom if we can get away with it. If she looks good enough, we'll sleep with a chick that lives right next door to where we live. We'll sleep with a chick that goes to church in the same church. I'm just using examples, and please don't tag me to say that I'm doing this, but what I'm saying that's what men
Don't
do.
tag me either.
We're a little bit,
but
we're more silly. We're more silly and stupid in doing that. A woman will get on a plane and fly across states to give it up to somebody else. She's gonna make sure that y'all don't never mix together. He's gonna be, and he most likely will be the total opposite of you. Two different worlds. If you a gamer, she gonna deal with a dude that be in the club. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be the total opposite. And we all know when we have gone to the first, second, and third base and home base for the first time with a woman, we also do know how they set up the stage. It got to be perfect. You know what I'm saying, for them. And that's another thing that a man will get kind of like a little discombobulated when his woman steps out, because it's like, I know what you did. You probably wore that dress. You probably ain't got your hair done. Like, dang, this whole time I've been watching you doll up in front of me, thinking it was for me, and it was for this next dude. So it's a little bit more devastating. Because we'll just show up in a t-shirt and some basketball shorts
that they go steal.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we here to drop off some quick D and then we gone. Like, you know, we ain't getting all super dressed up, especially if she like a side chick or something like that. But yeah, a woman, she stepping out, she like, nah, we gotta go to the Hilton. I done got my kids at my mama house. Yeah, Robert think I am in Vegas with my sister.
Get a fresh
She's
wax.
calling her girl, and Chad calls. I'm in the shower and text me. You know what I mean? So when she texts and he called, she called him later. Oh, hey, babe, what you doing? I'm nothing. No, I ain't doing nothing. He's just in the room. You know, so it's a little bit more of a thought process, and men know that. We know that. So just a snippet of the difference of men and women. You know,
it's a good place to end off on. This was a good show. I had fun on this one.
Oh yeah, all the shows are good, and so yeah, some have a little bit more sprinkles than the other, but yeah, this one was fun.
And we had some educational stuff in there. I learned some stuff.
I
came out of it a little smarter. I might start asking chicks, hey, what's your 4 numbers? Give me your what's your 4 numbers?
They may not even know. There might be some girls listening now. I
would assume that most women don't.
Let me find out.
I would assume most women don't know this. I've never heard
the 4 numbers.
I've never heard this talked about ever in my life.
Look, I knew it was important because when I was in nursing school, I wrote it down on my on a flashcard so I could remember it. But yeah, it's a 4-digit number. And sometimes it could be like 2112, you know, so 2 pregnancies, 1 abortion, 1 death, 2 kids living, you know. So, you know, it could be. So I almost wish we could pull up some stuff. I'm just curious on some of these numbers.
You was already talking about federal cases, so we not doing nothing like that.
Like, man, some of these girls, like, we be looking like, man, hold on, wait, we be looking at this, that, is that the number you talking about, or is this mileage to a car? What I'm looking at?
Like, why yours got 8 numbers?
Like, this a spaceship?
Like, one of these is a 10? Why you got a 10 on yours?
I wouldn't be surprised. And I wouldn't be surprised. The sky the limit, or the limit's the sky. Both of them is high. So I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. But ladies, please, I done gave y'all a cheat code. So now we know, or at least the medical professions professionals know when you show up to these places and you trying to fabricate certain things, okay? You know, we's able to find out. So be careful out there.
Be careful out there.
People.
We ain't gonna get out of here because I'm killing myself. I'm Jamal Williams.
And I am Christopher Barris.
We are America's Mind. We'll see you guys next week.